The infamous tale of Freddy Krueger killing teens in their dreams may sound unrealistic and twisted, right? Well, it was actually based on a true story that's nothing like you'd imagined. In 2008, director Wes Craven revealed that his 1984 classic horror film was inspired by a random string of unexplainable deaths. In a statement to the press, Wes said it was a series of articles in the LA Times about immigrants from Laos who had died in the middle of their nightmares, and the paper never correlated them, never said, "Hey, we've had another story just like this one." The third was the son of a doctor. He was about 21. Soon after the young man went to sleep, his parents heard screams coming from his room. They rushed in, but were too late. He was dead, and the autopsy could never reveal a clear cause of death. Wes Craven used these instances to form a basis for his stories. Teenagers whose parents didn't believe their fears that they die in their sleep, though what ended up on the screen bore little resemblance to the initial news reports. A kernel of the story remained intact, in Wes Craven's eyes at least. So I found the original article, I'll link it below, and give you the highlights. The Federal Center for Disease Control in Atlanta is conducting an intensive inquiry into the manner in which 18 apparently healthy Laotian refugees died mysteriously in their sleep in this country within the last 4 years. One possibility being explored is that they were frightened to death by nightmares. The 17 men and women were members of a pre-literate Laotian mountain society called the Hmong. The Hmong come from an isolated culture similar to that of American Indian. Very few speak English. Their own tongue became a written language only a few years ago, and their adaptation to American life has been marginal at best. While it seems like the idea versus the movie adaptation is tangibly relatable at best, if you told me both of these stories an hour apart, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's kind of like the thing that you said earlier. I want to see the original adaptation. A bunch of Asian refugees trying to explain what happened, and no one believes them, until they inevitably die in their sleep seemingly from a nightmare. That seems like one of the worst ways to go. You have no idea what they were going through in their final moments. Personally, I think words may have scared them to death, tormenting them in their sleep. It came from a pre-literate society. Is the idea really that far-fetched? I mean, what's the alternative?